me, Teddy LaRose at Food Mavericks 1000, and maybe also my course, Hi Team. We are doing puff pastry right now. Scary though it is, it doesn't sound scary anymore. I read some stuff, mainly frozen butter, which we did the butter addition, which is what to do about getting frozen butter. Not grating is a good idea. So, you know, like, here's the thing, efficiency is fun. Like, yeah, just scrape, 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 and then like there's the messy old grater and it's melting on the grater. It's supposed to be cold. I appreciated the thought, so what I did was I cut the butter first into small bits. You can see them here. This is a cup, 2 sticks of butter, and then I put them in the freezer. So they've been in the freezer. They coated with the flour too, so when I cut it, they didn't stick to the knife. Right here, we've got 2 cups of flour and a little salt. That's all there is in there. We're going to put this frozen butter in here, and I'm going to come over near the camera. Now, a lot of people use a pastry cutter for this. This is because then you won't get it too warm. The thing is that that's frozen enough that I can't even work it with my hands. So we're going to see. I may not have cut small enough chunks there, but it was about as small as I could do readily. It's not grated. So, you know, I'm even wondering, will that work? This might not work. But we're brave here. We're just going to go forward. So there they are, chunked in there. They're all coated with flour. And we'll see. This is a Maverick test. If it doesn't work, you set you back a cup of butter in a little time, and there you are. Okay, now we're going to add the water. The water should be cold. Everything cold. So I've got ice water here. And it's a half a cup. I'm measuring out here about the cube. But I'm not going to dump the whole thing in at once. You don't want to be too sticky. So this is a trial, guys. We're going to put most of it in. They call this rough puff pastry. And the other person who I really admire, her take on it was grating it in. And grating it in would have been much smaller chunks, but it's also just a pain in the neck. Sorry. You know, I mean, as far as that goes. So we're going to see how we can work out this whole process. It needs more water. It's not sticking together. What we want to essentially do is get to a point where it'll stick together. And I think if the butter had been a little smaller, it's starting to get a little more workable in there. So bear with me, guys. We're Maverick here. You don't want to add too much more than that, or you're going to get something that's tough. Also, you don't want it to start getting too warm and sort of counterproductive of the process there. So just, if you add it, as with pie crust, add a little at a time. It's starting to get sticky here, the flour part. Perhaps too sticky, we'll see. Okay, we'll get back to you. Hi team, let's have some music. Okay guys, let's do a review first because like, wow. Okay, yesterday we were doing puff pastry and it looked to me like it wasn't going to work. Of course, I don't really know because I never tried it, but from my experience it looked like the butter pieces were too big, the flour and water were starting to get a little bit doughy, I got a little bit tense. I probably could have carried forward and it could have been really not that puffy at all. So what I did instead was stop there, stand back and wonder, and I felt a little sorry. Have you ever it's hard, you probably had it, like to, you know, waste really expensive food. So I was a little bit, disappointed in myself, but luckily I have a partner who said, no worries, no problem, we can chalk this up to great practice, and you know, there's always some good use for this kind of thing. find yourself a team, guys, so that when you've got those moments, come here or go to a friend and like, so there, I was encouraged enough to stand there and think, what'll I do? So what I did was I put some sugar in some of that tough puff and some cinnamon, and I tossed that together in one bowl, and then I just happened to have, and you probably will have this having done the course, some of the dough that you made too much of one day and saved in the fridge the next day, and I just had happened to get it out thinking, oh, I'll just make some pizza later. So it was more at room temperature. So that was all set. So I was standing there looking at my stuff thinking, well, wow. Okay, so what did I do? I punched down the dough, the bread dough, and I just dumped some sugar on it. Okay, like I kind of measured it, retroactively, so we'll see. So I did that, and then I combined those two things together. So there was the tough puff in one, and then there was the the addended dough. It didn't have sugar before. Okay, so addended. Okay, so there they are. They're kind of like very different in texture. I thought, okay, I mean, it's the nothing less to lose thing, okay, like the wild maverick state of like, well, it's only 1 cup of butter or something, we're fine. So what I did was I kneaded that together to a point, and not that much. I didn't knead it together that much, so it had a lot of swirly different textures in that, and I just thought, okay. And then I took that thing out and I thought I'll make cinnamon roll shape out of that. I mean, I thought at first I'd do bread, but I thought cinnamon roll, so I laid it on the counter. And it was so oily, I didn't need any flour to keep it from sticking. It was just really oily. So I rolled it into a roll. I cut 6 things. I stuck it in a pan. There's photos with this. And I just let it do another rise for about 30 minutes, and then I baked it. And guys, it was just fantastic. Okay, this is one of those things like, famous failing to magnificent mistake, as in mayonnaise. That's one of them. And luckily I know enough to like at least make some record of what happened. Everybody liked it a lot. And so it's this, I meant to do that recipes that actually do make people famous. So I just wanted you to know it happens to, like the people who've been doing it a long time too. Okay, so that's, what the tip on that one, if there's a tip to be said, is that sometimes overmixing is maybe not what you want to do. That was essentially undermixed. And it just had an incredible, to me it was incredible. So have fun, guys, in case you try it.